Hi, Eric.
Hey.
We're here on Metabolic Devices stand, right?
Yep.
And you've got some new modules to show us.
Yeah. Brand new, we have a signal generator module. We've got two of them right here.
So new that it doesn't even have the name printed.
It doesn't have a name printed on the panel. These are still prototypes, but we're right at the end of development. This one is called Skew Zero because it has a skew control and it does through zero modulation. So the primary function is as an audio modulator, or an audio source. It's got three outputs here at the top. This one gives a linear output. This one is a sine-shaped output. And here we have a pulse output. Now our skew control will change the waveform. So at the far left, we have a triangle output coming from here. This one will be a sine, and our pulse output will be very thin. If we move this towards the right, then this becomes a ramp waveform, and this becomes a sine-shaped ramp waveform, and this gives us a fat pulse. So this is works like a tonal control. Here we have the main frequency knob and fine tune. Down here is our CV input with a tenuverter, and this is a volt per octave input, and this is our hard sync input down here. Now these switches are pretty important. The left one here switches the CV input for frequency. In the top position, we get linear through zero modulation. In the middle position, we have the AC coupled version of that, or phase modulation. And in the bottom position, we get the traditional exponential modulation.
So this is an entirely analog
yes.
module, yeah.
It's all analog, 8 HP, 1 PCB, so it's nice and thin. The switch here on the right is our mode switch. In the top position, we're working at audio rate. In the middle position, we get LFO. And in the bottom position, we actually have an envelope mode. So you can use the hard sync input to trigger it as an envelope, and you can set your shape with the skew control and the overall time with the frequency knob.
Excellent.
And the envelope is actually an attack sustain release. So it will pay attention to your gate signals. And actually a cool thing I just realized as an afterthought, the way the pulse width modulation, the pulse output goes high during the decay phase of the envelope. I did that so that you can patch the pulse output into the CV input. And that way you can set your attack time with the skew and frequency, but then you can use the CV attenuverter to modulate the release time.
Brilliant. So, and you've got the Moonwalker is kind of new as well, is that right?
Yeah, it's still pretty new. The Moonwalker is a super flexible function generator. Let's see. Do we have one set up here? Well, I can just give you, show you on one of these here. We've got attack and decay here, and CV inputs with attenuverters here. There's the main feature that makes Moonwalker special is this knob. That is a phase offset. That lets you change the phase of the signal generator from 0 to 360 degrees. So what that really means is you can get all kinds of different shapes from the waveform, and it lets you modulate the overall rhythm and the way that your envelope sits in the structures that you build in a really different way.
So you've got a bit of a patch running. Should we hear some of that,
Yeah.
and then we can hear the new oscillator as well?
Now we're listening here to the sine-shaped version output, and this one is doing our linear FM on our carrier, and then we have a Moonwalker here that's doing modulation on our skew waveform. So we're shifting here from the softer, more sine wave tones and then getting sharper, more ramp tones.
Brilliant. So when are you hoping to have the new device ready?
The new module, we're right at the final stages. Everything is working pretty well technically, and we just need to do a little bit of fine-tuning and make sure the aesthetics are really how we want it to behave. So hopefully that means maybe just another month or so of development, and then we'll hopefully be able to order production. And so hoping maybe 3 or 4 months till it's on the streets.
Brilliant. And I'm guessing a price is difficult to say at the moment.
It is. You know, when I started, the goal was to put it around the 2 to 250 euro mark.
Well, Eric, thank you very much for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.